We are live now. People are filtering in.
Yeah, I see
Your
a few
camera
people.
is deliberately off. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Um, well, geez, I guess here I'm known as Craig Christ. It's a reference to a song, but it's also a name that a friend of mine gave me. Uh, I don't know. I don't talk about myself all that much.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
It's
didn't
like the
mean to put
hardest
you on the
question for
spot.
me to answer. No, you're good. You're good. No, I don't know. I've been on Substack for a minute. I write about math and science stuff and whatever else pops in my brain at
Perfect.
random times of the day. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm really, I that's like probably the worst thing is talking about me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I live in Mississippi. That part's fine. I'm from New Orleans. I'm not afraid to talk about that stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, and oh, we've been trying to connect for a while, and I always see your
A long while,
thoughtful.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything every week seems like 100 years, and yet there's never enough time.
Then I was sick for like a month.
Oh, but you've
A
got some
friend of mine,
ideas. Yeah.
I was just saying, a friend of mine and I were talking about how time moves faster as you get older, and it's a real thing.
Yeah. Oh, and I tell you, it's like, yeah, we have all these ideas, all these things going on, but yeah, it's wonderful to connect, and you're among the group.
Yeah.
What is you is your PhD in physics, or is that in something else?
Well, so my PhD is actually in educational research,
Okay.
or just research in general. My master's degree is in physics. My bachelor's is in physics. I also have what is essentially a bachelor's degree in math. They wouldn't give me that. You can't get a graduate degree. I'm sorry, a bachelor's degree while you're in grad school. They won't let you do it apparently. Uh, so I finished all the classes, but they wouldn't let me go back and get the bachelor's or get like the double major. No, I'm not, yeah, I do a lot of stats and math and
Yeah.
algebra. I taught for about 20 years, mostly college level stuff.
Okay. And forgive me if I overspeak you. It's a little bit more difficult. I mean, when we're protecting your anonymity today with the video, but that just makes it a little tougher. So for people
Oh no,
watching,
you're good.
yeah, I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
rude. I just wanted to make that little disclaimer.
yeah. It's not really for me so much as it's other people that I know. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't care about myself.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where I've been kind of we know we're in this surveillance state, and actually, your
Yeah.
STEM background is kind of a good thing. we When I talk to Bob Dana, I'm sure you've seen some of my talks with Bob Dana, and
Uh,
he's the nuclear physicist or the nuclear weapons expert.
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
I have
and
not seen it. I have not seen that. I need to watch that.
oh, I'll show you the link there. But he's the one. He's
Yeah.
really
Can you check it
interesting
back
because
out?
he came on. Well, he was in the military and he knows the whole
Oh,
process of enriching nuclear
yeah.
weapons. And he says Iran does not have nuclear weapons. That is a lie. They don't even
Yeah.
have enriched uranium beyond like 60%. You need, I think, 95% for it to be
Yeah.
weapons grade. And but
Yeah.
even he, when we're talking, he sometimes he gets nervous because he's like, "Well, this is like too technical." And I'm just like, people are actually pretty interested in listening to technical scientific talk. I think the word of experts is becoming more, people are getting more hungrier and hungrier for it. So feel free to
Yeah.
indulge them.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm afraid of so I know how to do I don't know all the military stuff about uranium enrichment, but I know some stuff about it, at least as to how it works. But I'd be more afraid of just like saying something that wasn't that was broad speculation and wind up being uh wind up just coming up as crazy, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, he would know way more about how much stuff they actually have. Um, I wouldn't assume. They sure as heck didn't seem like they had anything going. Um,
Mhm. Well, he was very clear, and he's like, as a scientist, you never say 100%, but he said
oh no.
99.99999% sure they do not have nuclear weapons. So,
Oh yeah, no, they don't have anything now. They definitely don't have anything now. It takes a lot more than what they've got to do what they would want to do with it.
yeah. And the whole premise, and it's just really upsetting because there's so much of this factual information, and again, our young people are being sent off to die on the
Yeah,
basis of a lie. We're wasting billions of dollars that could have gone to healthcare, that could have gone to
yeah,
homelessness.
to literally anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally anything else except all we are literally burning it by just blowing it up. Like, that's all the money is going to.
Yeah. I don't know, what's you can orient me today. I'm at this point, this is my end of my week, so
Yeah, mine too. I'm just getting ready for the eve that I've been cleaning up because, we've got family and stuff coming, birthdays and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm with you. You never know what to expect every week. I figured we've been talking about, chatting today, and I was like, I wonder if anything's happened in the past 2 hours while I was getting ready and, like, cleaning stuff up, and so I went and checked everything because you never know. Like,
Yeah.
there's always something stupid or ridiculous right around the corner. You go to sleep, you wake up, you know, um, you attack the country, you go to sleep, you wake up, you attack another country,
Yep, yep, kids
and
are dying, other kids are being
yeah,
rounded
that
up into concentration camps and raped, and, the
yeah,
American public
yeah,
allows it to happen.
yeah, I don't understand any of it, honestly. It's become a little frustrating.
Yeah, and we have this because I have this where I get my maniacal laughter out of just, like, that pressure valve kind of releases it was Jack, he was calling it gallows humor, where you just start, like if you
Yeah,
sit here with a straight face giving it the seriousness it deserves, I don't think you'll survive the day. You have to just kinda have this I sound like the Joker a lot. I start
yeah,
cackling, you
yeah,
know? Mm.
yeah, no, yeah, I've gotta, like, make some ridiculous jokes to, like, make myself laugh. Like, half the time I post some things and I'm like, "I'm the only one that's gonna think this is funny."
Yeah.
But, I'm gonna post it anyway because, why not? But that's kinda just how it is, like, sometimes you just gotta the darkness is already there, you gotta laugh at it or else it's gonna make you rip your freaking hair out.
Somebody wrote in the JN wrote, "We're not meant to hold all this. Our brains are beginning to skip stuff." I know I mean, I have stuff falling off my plate. I can barely keep track of all the people I wanna talk to.
Yep.
Somebody else mentioned Cash got hacked, the guy in charge of the
Yeah,
FBI, and
yeah.
apparently he's just got a bunch of pictures of himself acting like a gangster. I mean,
That's
it's
just the
just
stuff they
embarrassing.
released. That's the thing is, like, if okay, so how far back do those pictures go? Right?
I
Because
don't
think
know.
about your own personal email.
Oh,
If they've got
yeah.
like
Oh,
like, if
shit.
they got your own personal email, there's all sorts of stuff in there.
Mm.
Like, they just released all the pictures so that
Yeah.
they knew they were legit.
Like
Like, they
embarrassing
yeah,
emails to breakups. "Oh, please,
yeah,
I
yeah,
bet he's got
yeah.
stuff.
There's probably and, like, the dude he is, there's probably tons of stuff in there. It's probably all sorts of he's that's why I saw something about him offering money to, like, people in Iran to find the hackers. Good luck. I mean, yeah, they'll probably pretend like they did and take your money.
Well,
Um,
yeah, and also
but
it's like the people of Iran are literally just waiting to die. It's like he's gonna threaten them with this. I mean, the United States
yeah,
keeps threatening to just obliterate them. So why do they care what Cash has to say?
yeah, well, I mean, the threatening, they've been doing it. Like,
Yes,
they've just been
yes.
blowing everything up and, like, I've got a friend, I'm not gonna say too much about this, who lives in Qatar? I don't know how you
Uh-huh.
say it.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
It's a strange pronunciation for me. Um, and I've just been checking in on him, and he's been okay, but, like, it's still weird, right? Like,
Yeah,
they shouldn't be in that situation, and, like, when it all first went down, they just bailed on everybody
yeah.
and was just like, "Yeah, you can't leave," and then they blew up all the airports, and, like, so, he's an old bandmate of mine, um, and so it's a crazy situation
Mhm.
for those people, and there's a lot of them. It's not just him,
And
and
somebody
then
mentioned
because
sorry, go
they're all
ahead.
targets. Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
saying they're all targets now. Like, he's made them all targets with it because he didn't think about what he was doing before he did it.
Yeah. And, JN says maybe Iran can hack the major Epstein class and release the redacted. The problem is their
They
crimes are
won't
so
care.
heinous. Well, their crimes are so heinous, you can't even release the videos of the things they did because you are
Yeah,
then causing more damage to these children that were tortured.
yeah. I mean, if they hadn't figured out by now that he has a lot of problems with that, then what else can you release? Like, I mean, they're just ignoring it at this point. Like a good portion of people just have decided that they don't care about anything that he did before, now, or today, or that he even maintains. Um, he doesn't contradict himself the moment he speaks. Like that's what he's always been doing lately.
Mm.
Well, that's all he does anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
It's
the
so
guy
hard
that
to listen to him. It's so hard to pay attention to any of it because it makes me just want to jump out of a window. But all my windows are on the first story.
but, yeah, but I mean, it's like he's almost like perjury proof because he can't you couldn't write down what he says and hold him accountable
Yeah,
because it makes no sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It's all just he all just skips. He says everything, and that way you can't hold him to anything. Like it's become way more obvious now. Like it's not like a thing that they're trying to hide anymore. I don't think. But
Yeah.
it's especially with the war stuff. It's one thing after the other. I mean, it's the most. It's. I'm gonna bomb you, but we're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
Like in
And
in the same sentence almost. Like what?
yeah.
That's not how you treat your friends. Like
And you
I
said
don't.
you're down in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I live basically in Jackson, like just right around Jackson,
I
Mississippi.
was gonna ask you stuff like, are there the No Kings, demonstrations planned around you? How is that in your neck of the woods?
It's
I'm kinda curious.
there's never really a lot. There's usually some on the coast. There's probably one here I haven't seen. Um, it's like I don't want to say that people are lazy, but we're basically what Trump and everybody wants to turn America into already. We already passed the Save Act. They did that crap yesterday here.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
like with the birth certificate stuff. I don't know if it got signed by the governor yet, but the House passed it at least,
Yeah.
which is just basically just we trial run everything.
Yeah.
Way back before they blew everything up with the economy, they were talking about dropping income tax, which is what they're doing here.
Really?
Which is yeah, which is it sounds great at first, and then you think about the fact that you still have to pay taxes somehow,
Yeah.
and then when you're they're just going to raise all the grocery taxes until they get the money they need, and all the other taxes.
Mm.
And while everybody buys the same amount of groceries, right? Not everybody makes the same amount of income, and
Yeah.
so like the income is where you go to get taxes. That's why it's set up that way.
And
But not these days. Everybody just we pay for everything, and rich folks just get to run with their money.
yeah, and there's never any talk about just major taxes on luxury goods, like, we can't it has to
Yeah,
be taxes on everybody and
the
what's
estate tax thing, like that's a whole business.
yeah. Oh, that. Yeah, where you can,
Yeah,
like, just if you just give your kids a house, all of a sudden it's exempt from capital gains, like, after you die.
yeah,
There are some
yeah,
weird tax breaks that rich people get. Yeah.
yes, yeah, 100%. I don't know all of them because I've never been rich.
Well, there's just weird I mean, you can just sit and play around, like, you can have a business and pay yourself so much from the business that the business goes bankrupt and then declare the business insolvent, but you get to, like, as the individual, keep going free. I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of what Rick Scott did, isn't it? Like
yeah, I mean,
he was
it's stuff
running
that
that
sounds like
running that.
fraud.
Well, yeah, he was running that Medicare business or whatever. He was running some kind of hospital, took a whole bunch of money and used it to pay his salary. And then I don't think he had to pay his salary back. I don't remember how all that worked, but it was something like that.
If you sit down yeah, and it's like, for any regular person, it would be fraud, but if
Oh
billionaires
yeah,
manage to get, like, one of their right-wing judges, then they're just like, "Well,
yeah,
this is dismissed," and of course, they got an endless amount of money. I guess it only makes sense to do it if you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna steal my billion, and then I'm, like, just
yeah.
gonna pay lawyers and just, kick it
Take a
down the
slap on the
road,"
wrist. Yeah,
eventually it'll be dismissed.
white collar criminals don't go to jail. Excuse me.
Mm. I was
But
reading
yeah,
an
no,
article
it's
today, you mentioned the
yeah,
SAVE Act, and I one of the
yeah.
things people keep overlooking about the SAVE Act is that's gonna inconvenience it's gonna be worse for women without question,
Oh
but
yeah,
men are gonna be inconvenienced by that too, and that's the point
oh
I'm
yeah. It
making.
looks like it looks ridiculous. Like I don't know if I go. I don't know how much to mess with my phone, but I was gonna go look at what the Mississippi House passed. Um, because I was
But it's
curious how close it was. I know it was close. I looked at what it was trying to get people to do.
do you have a
Um,
passport?
I have it's expired,
Well,
and
yeah,
I probably can't get a new one these days
well,
because ain't crap going on. Nobody's doing anything.
you'll have to get a birth certificate, but
I've got one of those.
oh,
I've got most of my stuff. So I lived in a place where Hurricane Katrina happened,
okay,
and so after all that, we had to replace all that stuff anyway, and so I held on to all of it pretty much. Like,
yeah.
but I've kind of got all that stuff, you know. Uh,
I was reading
but that
another.
doesn't mean everybody else does. I don't matter, you know.
It
I can
has
do
the
stuff easily.
potential. It has the potential to blow up in their faces, like, the people
Oh
that
yeah,
actually have those documents, although, I think what'll happen in practice is anybody who is a Republican, they won't have to comply with those requirements. They're like, "Oh, come in
yeah,
and vote," and they'll only hold votes that they don't want to that standard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I worry about how they try to how there's just too much messing around with it in general. Um, when it should be a relatively simple process, and then they try to make it more and more complicated when it could be really easy. Right,
Yeah.
there's ways to do it very easily. I know you can make online surveys that people can only access with code.
Yeah, Social Security
What
number.
be yeah,
Type in your Social Security number, that gets 1 vote, you get to verify it
get a
later.
couple get a couple multi-factor authentications in there, and what's the difference
Well,
at that point? Like between showing up and like, I mean, it'd be easier to vote for other people, I guess, if they were in your family.
yeah,
But but who's to say those people didn't vote themselves? You can't prove you could never prove that. And so
well
why worry about it? You know what I mean? Like,
what you're
I
saying.
don't know. I feel like it's obvious every time you try to make it harder to vote that you're trying to stop people from voting. Like anytime you mess with it, you're just making it harder for everybody to do it. Whereas if you just make it, you know, come up with some really easy process, then everybody can do it, and then it's not a problem.
Yes, and what you're saying is something that's interesting because I'm in the just in the media, and so every time I try to have these conversations, it's like, why shouldn't we have an app that allows us to vote? The
Yeah,
comments that come out, well, what it shows me though is, and I'm turning into like, you feel like a detective because the oligarchs, they pay for these bots that target, they scan the internet for concepts they don't want people to even think about. Because when I've mentioned like online voting before, instantly you just get just bizarre attacks where people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
you want to put that?" Like isn't it's like they already have an app for your social security. You can go online and check.
yeah,
You have apps for our banks. It's possible
yeah,
to do this and have it be secure, where we can validate. We can make sure this was
yeah.
who we voted for. This was counted.
If they could take my money online,
Yeah.
we could vote online. Like that. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about it. Like if that's secure enough for you, then it should be secure enough the other way around. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand like to me it's like having been voting for 2 decades now. It feels like you could have just made it easier instead of just the same. But then again, the whole point is to to control who's in power and not to actually let people vote.
Yes, and one of the conclusions, you look at everything, things don't make sense. And I was reading this article today. It was a really good article where they were evaluating the 2024 election, particularly Pennsylvania. And if you remember, there was that one senator. He lost, but it was within the margin. The Democrat lost within the margin that demanded a mandatory recount. So it triggered
Yeah,
that. And then he
yeah, I
conceded.
remember.
Well, then he
Yeah,
conceded, so
okay.
they didn't do the recount, which makes
No,
no sense. And you're looking at that and you're like, "Okay, there's all these questions. Why did this guy" it's like, "Just do the recount." It's like, "In the
just
meantime,
tell me
also
again.
recount
Yeah,
for Kamala." And it only makes you frustrated if you're assuming that Democrats actually want fair elections. And if you start to make the assumption that Democrats are complicit in vote suppression, and I call them
yeah,
blue MAGA, that's the
yeah.
only thing that really answers that question, is that we have a contingent among the Democratic Party, which is complicit and is also rigging the elections.
I
What are your
think
thoughts on
I
that?
don't. So I don't know about complicity. So well, okay, let me pause there. Some people are attached to an old way of doing things that does not work when it comes to the new way that Republicans do things. So, like when George Bush, let me talk about Katrina again because it's just on my mind from a second ago. George Bush screwed that up. Like everybody let him have it. Right? It wasn't just the people who lived where I lived. Right? It was the world could not necessarily the world, but the country could see that there was a problem with that. And what he the way he kind of just abandoned that city for a few days. Um, and he did try to eventually kind of fix it, but now if Trump does something, I mean the gas prices have gone up here by like over almost a dollar, if not more, now in a month, and no one wants to blame him for it. Like it's everybody else's fault.
Hmm. Even
No,
in your
dude, it's yours.
community? In your
But
community?
well, I mean, I don't see a lot of people all the time. Um, I stay at home a lot these days. I see my kids most of the time. But most of the folks around me, I haven't heard anything about complaining about gas yet, but I know it exists. You can see it just in the way the prices go up. But in terms of the blue MAGA folks, I'll go off on tangents. Um, I don't think that there's so much hung up on like helping them or like not letting anybody get power. I just don't think they realize how to use the power that they have or what they can do with the things that they don't try to do some of the stuff that like I would try to do when even some of the other ones, like the younger ones, the newer ones, when you could, like I mean I've talked about, there's a reasonable way to get a couple of Republicans to make somebody else Speaker of the House. If you just, try to talk them into it, and end that problem, and you start actually doing something, but they won't try,
Yeah.
and and they won't even talk about it. Like I'd be talking about it the whole time. I'd be talking about every other way I could come up with, um, to mess with anybody, so that they're thinking about all these things that could happen, instead of just thinking they can lie straight to your face and get away with it. I mean, what was Mike Johnson shut down the instead of paying TSA, he shut down the Congress and like refused or whatever, right? Didn't that happen? I mean,
I They passed
that's
the Senate passed the thing, and then it just died in the House, yep.
yeah, yeah. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why don't you just pay those people for doing their job? You're getting paid. What are you like?
But okay,
It doesn't make any sense.
but let's
But
let's
yeah, I
back
get what you're saying though. In terms of there are a lot of online bots and stuff, so it's like hard to pick out who's real people sometimes.
well, I like what you're saying too, it's making me think, but I mean, there's some stuff going on, like, you remember Madison Cow what was his name? Cawthorn? That
Yeah, that
guy?
was that the guy in the wheelchair who was like doing
Yeah, but he was
all
like
the naked parties or whatever.
yeah! So he comes
Yeah,
out and he's just like, "Republicans take me to these sex parties," and it's just sort of
yeah,
like and then that just kinda goes away, and
yeah,
then he loses his seat because and I mean, the whole Republican Party is like this plug and play thing. We were talking about that with This Woman Votes, Rachel at This Woman Votes, how they just anoint these guys that are pawns, like that Mark Wayne Mullen, who's just like
yeah.
he's got an associate's degree. They've been building him up for years. Like, and once he stops being useful to them, they'll just flush him down the toilet like they did
You
with
heard about
Christy
Kristi
Noem.
Noem lately?
Yeah,
Yeah, say you
we
heard
were
about
on
her
the
lately?
we were on the same wavelength there, yeah, and
Yep,
Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's like
yeah,
they're entirely propped up pawns, like all these spokespeople of the right, and then every now and then one of them just like pulls back the curtain. He's like, "Wait, there's like these just obscure, these bizarre sex parties," and they're like, then they like
yeah,
shut it again, like, "Oh, that just never happened," and we're supposed to believe
yeah,
that our Democrats are like they just believe what "Oh, well, I guess that didn't happen. He
yeah,
just said it didn't happen, so it didn't happen."
yeah, yeah, all the Matt Gaetz stuff, like, he was showing them all sorts of pictures and shit on the House floor,
Oh,
like,
well, they know
like,
that. They've all looked at the
I
files there.
mean,
He's guilty as hell.
yeah, yeah, I mean, like, there's a time and a place for that, and it's not in Congress. Like, it's called college.
Well, they did
Like,
the investigation, I mean, it's like it's one thing
yeah,
if he's just being a creep with his cell phone and you're like, "Whatever, buddy,
yeah,
just get the hell away from me." But if they've had, like,
yeah,
a legit investigation where they're just like, "This guy's guilty of child trafficking," and they're just like, "We're just
yeah,
gonna bury that." It's like, "Wait a minute." And it's like, it's not just him, it's like every single person who looked at those files and agreed to this solution also needs to be thrown in jail for accessory to
yeah.
child abuse. And for
Well,
some
the
reason, we
other
don't talk
guy
about
went to
these things.
jail for it. Like, the other guy in, Florida went to jail for it,
Yeah.
right? I think he's in jail now, but Gates never went.
Yeah, well, he's gotta
Gates
be
had a press pass to the Pentagon.
that guy's gotta be sitting there in jail going, "Are you kidding me?" It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
fuck.
That's why I mean, like, I you if they're gonna make you an enemy anyway, right? Why be friends with them in the first place,
But that's why
right? And
I
that's
mean,
kind of how everybody feels about Trump at this point, right? He's not gonna ever help anybody else, so they're never gonna. Why would you bother helping him? Like
yeah, and people gotta
that,
recognize what he does. He builds people up.
yeah,
He like, "You do all the work." They screw up. He flushes them down the toilet. Then he appoints it's like, why would you accept that appointment? Because all he does is set you
yeah,
up to take the blame for when he fails.
yeah. Well, I mean, at that, and like he's getting everybody set up to go. Look, he got Cash Patel hacked. He's getting everybody set up to go to jail or worse. Like I mean,
Yeah.
Hegseth's a war criminal now. He wasn't one of those before.
Yeah.
Um, Chrissy Nome kind of did the same thing. They definitely stole some money. Um, and then everybody who winds up, they all commit crimes for him because they think it'll be okay. And nobody's ever going to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Um, because they've got somebody in the DOJ who's not paying attention to it. But eventually that will change.
Well,
Um,
we hope that,
oh,
but that's my worry
yeah,
about because the Democrats know this shit's been going on. I mean, the Democrats sat on those files for the entirety of the Biden, and somebody just mentioned too in the chat, like Mike Johnson and his informal adoption. There's like this
oh yeah,
informal
that's
adoption
weird.
thing. Yeah,
That
I
that
mean,
that
it's
is weird
kidnapping.
with that kid. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't like, and that kid like never talks about anything or like you've never seen that kid on camera. Like I'd like to hear that kid tell me that his life was not weird. You know what I mean? Like it'd be really easy if it wasn't. It'd be really easy for him to go out and support his dad if it was cool. But he doesn't seem to want to do that. And then the whole porn app thing with his son, like
yeah, his accountability buddy. Like,
yeah, that's gross. I don't that's, my son's business is my son's business. Um, it's not a thing that uh, I don't need my son to keep me accountable. You know what
well,
I mean? Like,
even having that conversation is grooming, is what it is. It's
yeah,
grooming, and so much of like conservative beliefs are just grooming, and like to just obey the patriarch no matter what the patriarch says, and then just
yeah,
deny reality.
it's not lost on me how much of it's linked to a lot of freaking pedophilia lately. It's like the Epstein thing. It seems to be more of a catalyst for like remember like the Me Too thing,
Yeah,
right? And it's like way more rampant than just those people,
yeah.
right? Like,
Well,
and it's freaking ridiculous. Like,
yeah. This is.
and
Well,
they would
I
just
keep
let them get away with it.
Well, yeah, and I keep coming around to this thought that we can't underestimate the ingenuity of the corrupt, because once people have committed these heinous crimes, they get this
Yeah,
just second level energy, like stuff we can't even comprehend. And I try to make people like when you were 6 and you like accidentally broke the cookie jar or whatever, and you just like
yeah,
scrambled to, oh, mom's gonna kill me. I gotta scramble. So you cover up that crime. But now
yeah.
consider that energy like in an adult who like has been part of a child trafficking, torture, murder, rape
Yeah, what the
ring.
yeah,
And that's what we're
yeah,
looking at,
yeah.
where they
All
erase
the
history and steal
yeah,
elections.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, there's no proof that I've seen that the 2024 election was stolen, but if you showed me some, I would believe it.
Well,
Um, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of questions I have that I
yeah.
would like to, if I had, no, I don't know how you get that kind of data. That's
A
the
lot of
problem.
people have it. I talked with
If I had all the data, I could play with it.
Oh,
Um,
go talk to
but,
this will hold. I talked with her this week for an hour,
oh,
and, it's
so
and
I
yeah.
have a thing with those folks. I
Oh,
don't
you
think
don't
they
like
like me
this will
too
hold?
much. Well, okay, so do you remember there was a Tennessee election?
Yeah.
And there was, like, a special election, and they posted some stuff about questionable data in it. Well, like, one look at it, and I can tell you why it was wrong. And so, like, you could there could be questions, but what they were saying was not what they were showing. And so I pointed that out, and a lot of people got unhappy with me about that.
Yeah.
And so it's like we can talk about, like, real manipulation and real problems, but if we're picking at fake problems, then that doesn't serve anybody. Like,
Well let's look pick at
so
that.
but I they also don't always they had said something in the whole thing about not having an academic look at it, and I was like, academics looking at it. But there's things, like I said, there's ways to look at that data, and I've seen it go kind of the wrong way sometimes, if that makes sense.
Well, I think
Um,
that's really important, and I was just gonna say, like, the idea of an academic disagreement is something that we need to bring back, where we can still be
yeah,
allies, and we can
yeah,
it's like and that's something that's kind of I think we've been coerced into, "If you don't agree with me, you're part of the problem," and we can't have
yeah,
that. And so I think what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying is fair because 'cause you've got
yeah,
a statistical background, so look
yeah,
at what the conclusions they're making, but we can say
yeah,
because 'cause they're bringing up data, and there's a lot of points. I mean, I've talked with, there's a lot of
yeah,
like, right-wing groups owning the tabulation machines, that's
yeah. Now that's
a problem.
questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so
I
there's
don't like
a
that
lot
at
of things
all.
but that's the other thing too, it's like they might say 100 things just because one of them they're making okay, they're making a result that maybe isn't you can look at that
Yeah.
and come to a different result, we can defend it, we can talk about it, see what's right. That doesn't mean all the rest of their work is bad.
Oh,
But
yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, it
oh, I
wasn't
meant
them
that
so much as, like, the comments that got back, like, the people in the comments when I was like, I know stuff, like, I know math." Like, I was trying to, it's tough sometimes when you are an expert in something for people to still believe you, right? Because
yeah,
if I tell you something's wrong about math,
yeah,
there's, like, probably a 99% chance that I'm right and something's wrong.
yeah,
That, I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect in any kind of way.
yeah,
Um, but like, but but if I catch something and I'm like, hey, but you know, nobody understands that my credentials are actually meaningful, seeing as it's just the internet. Just another person on the internet. So it's like it's
yeah,
hard to, until you sat in my class and heard me try
yeah,
to teach something to you, you don't understand like exactly how it kind of works. Um, but I can
yeah.
teach it to you. Just
Well, I would
usually
say
people
too
pay me to teach this. You
yes.
know what I mean?
Well, I would say too, a lot of those comments are probably not of human origin. I think they are very good
Yes.
at increasing division, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
completely
you're right about that too.
but my other thing when it comes to evidence about the 2024 election, it's like, well, the guy who claims he won, I have
Yeah.
yet to see evidence of him not cheating at anything ever. I mean,
Yeah,
he
that's the
has
thing is like yeah,
he
yeah,
was
it's like it
convicted
would
for
be
election fraud in 2016. That's his 34 felony counts was business
yeah.
fraud related to election interference. He was under indictment for cheating in 2020. And so at
Yeah.
some point, we just haven't had the
He did an
investigation, right?
insurrection. He did an
Fuck
insurrection.
yeah!
Like,
He shouldn't have
yeah,
been on the
so
ballot. Yeah.
no, he should have never been on the ballot. And that was some kind of cheat too, probably some kind of backhanded somebody got paid for that.
Yeah.
Um, but the fact that you then win all like he won all 7 swing states. One of the things I did do with data, and I mentioned this in some posts I think before recently, is like if you go look at all the margins he won by
Yeah.
in every state, it's like almost exactly twice the recount margin.
Yeah.
So like if the recount margin was 1%, he won by 2%. If it was 0.5%, he won by 1. And like it was all that for all 7 of the swing states. It
Exactly, man.
was close to like that. And like all those things are statistical anomaly. Like those things don't just happen like
Yeah.
that. And so there's a lot of questions. But it's the problem with that kind of stuff is it's hard to answer those questions unless you know for sure. So did you see in Georgia where like they sent Elon Musk a letter for um, like pre-fill in ballots and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? So like if he does that with a bunch of people and they get through, right? So one of those Republican folks is just like, oh yeah, that's fine, and just runs those through the machine, um, then they can control exactly how many votes they have,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to just kind of pull that stuff up. And I was in those one of the so that was the other things in that this will hold article. Even though I saw that some of the math was a little wonky, there was a mention of like a timing thing with where like some data popped up out of nowhere
Yeah.
at a particular time in like Florida or something like that. And I was like, if you were gonna make data appear out of something like Elon Musk stuff, like it would look like that. It would look like something coming in, a couple of minutes after it was supposed to, and being looking like it was from a place that it wasn't supposed to be, and then like so there's a lot of stuff there that's really questionable,
Yeah.
that I would think you would want to look at. But like try if you the vote counts themselves are going to be hard to be able to tell if things were messed like the tabulation machines. You got
Yeah.
to go in those machines to know if they were messing with stuff. Unless you can show it's hard to show outside of the machine.
You know,
There was some convincing stuff I saw after the election, but like it's still not entirely convincing, if that makes sense.
well, this is what I wanna say based on what you're saying, because it seems like you're kind of focusing on that endpoint of whether or not we can say that definitively, yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely can't say it was rigged, but
Oh yeah, no.
but we're pointing out a lot of these problems, and it's like every single one of these problems merits an investigation, and there should be
Absolutely.
accountability for those problems. The people that did
Yeah.
illegal things need to be arrested, and it's just sort of like we're defaulting to this, "Well, we can't prove it's a rigged election, so we do
Yeah.
nothing." And it's like,
Yeah, we have to just
"Motherfucker."
accept it. Yeah, I hate that
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, like I absolutely hate that idea. Like it was the same I almost felt the same way in 2020 just because he was pitching
Yeah.
such a damn fit about it.
Yeah.
It was just like, go ahead and recount the whole damn thing.
Well, and then
Like,
because this is
get
why
over it. Like,
I say
what do we have to do?
Democrats are complicit, because he's the one demanding recounts. So we should say, all
Yeah,
right, let's get in there. Let's review all this shit too. We got some
yeah,
questions. This stuff seems like it's off. And if the Republicans then go, what? No, no, you can't. All we want to check is
yeah.
this one thing. You're like, well, we have the right. You're making these accusations, like the SAVE Act. If the
Yeah,
Republicans
you're right.
constantly say that there is election fraud, then we get to say there's election fraud. And we
Yeah, and
have our
let us
questions.
go look for it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez. Ah, so that was another thing too I noticed, about over just like the past decade. It's like he's claimed so much fraud that nobody thinks like what you just said. Nobody thinks that like, hey, we should be claiming it too,
Yeah.
so that we can go and do what they're doing. Instead, we're just let everybody's just like, no,
Yeah.
no, there's no fraud. There's no because
Well,
you want to argue against him like he did like in
well,
2020 he knew he freaking lost,
yes.
but he argued against it anyway, and he did it so much to convince you there was fraud that
Yes.
now it's like and we were like, no, no, it was perfectly fine, fair, nothing was wrong. Now when he starts doing all the fraud,
Yeah.
right now we're like, well, no, it's fine, it's fair, leave it alone. And and so they can then cheat, and now they're using their cheating as evidence of there being cheating.
Well,
Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
nobody's trying to argue the opposite, like you just said,
Well,
that
it
hey, there's something questionable. Let us go look at it. Like
yes.
none of the
Yes.
Democrats have ever said that.
Well,
Yeah,
think, Natasha's here, and Natasha mentions, like, the brainwashing we're all subjected to. Like, the establishment, the blue MAGA, I call them, the blue MAGA Democrats will say, "We have to
yeah,
appeal to moderate Republicans." All right, moderate Republicans are saying that there's election fraud. Let's say, "All right, we'll go with you, and we will look for," like, isn't that a way to appeal to moderate Republicans? If they claim election fraud, we take their claim seriously and then do our own
yeah.
investigations too? Let's find it then. But then the
Let's
Democrats
pick
are
it
like,
apart everywhere and
"No."
make sure it works. Yeah, yeah. Like the only way so the only way you can get and this goes to part of what's going on too, is the only way you can get to understanding and believing in something like that, like an election system, is for it to be fully transparent, for people to know exactly where their vote goes. That's why online voting would work. But for people to know exactly where their vote goes to, how it's counted, that kind of thing. If
Yeah.
you're going through a machine or you're doing all this other stuff, then at every point where you don't understand what's happening, you can introduce a question, and you can
Yeah.
make people believe that there's something wrong with that. And so the only way to fix it is to tear it all apart and let everybody see it. And then that's the way to understand it. And they don't want it, they just want to make it harder. Like their plans are not even going to fix anything. They're not even trying to fix the problem.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna go look, like let's go look. Let's break it open and break open the VCR and let's
Yeah.
see what's on the inside.
They're giving
Like,
us now I mean,
yeah,
they're still recounting 2020, but we're not allowed to recount 2024?
yeah, it
I
doesn't
don't
make any
want why
sense.
to this?
I would do it just to piss them off at this point. Like I want to check just to make sure you're not cheating
You
because
know,
we kind of see how that works.
your statistical background is so important and just like because it's not I I know just enough math to get myself into trouble and to make myself look foolish among people who really know math. But at least I have
Yeah,
the
well,
awareness. But what I
something.
have is respect for experts who know more than I do. So it's like, okay, good. I'm glad you're bringing up these questions. But yeah,
Yeah,
we have to overcome that brainwashing though that keeps us from even acting and for just
yeah.
because we have these powers, we're not using them.
Yeah, oh, yeah, 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 no, I completely agree. Yeah, exactly. No, there's so much more they could do. Like, I would have already been, like, just blatantly insulting these people, at least, like, back when Marjorie Taylor Greene was blatantly insulting everybody. That would've just been fun. But, like, they're not even trying to get dirty with them.
Yeah.
Get a little dirty. Like
How do you lose a
like,
race?
bec
How do you lose an election to somebody who is an adjudicated rapist? I mean, how do you
Yeah,
lose that? How do you not bring that
yeah,
up every time? It's like, I wanna stand farther away. I heard what you said about locker room talk. Well, watch that
yeah,
hand there. I mean, constantly mention that because the guy's a
yeah,
pig.
yeah, yeah, exactly, wear it on a T-shirt every day. Like, like, it doesn't need to be something you have to vocalize all the time, Make it just do some obvious thing, to be absurd, like, because the absurdity of all of that is I mean, the shoes thing where they all wear, like
Oh,
who is it? Moskowitz is one of the little he's like that little Democrat guy. She get those big shoes and walk
yeah.
around in those,
Well, because he buys
so
them shoes, right? Bizarrely, he's
yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah,
probably
and
they're
they're
from
ugly
China. They're probably
shoes.
like these cheap shoes for like 30 cents that he got because apparently he
Yeah,
does that too.
I think they're German, but I'm just guessing from the name.
They're probably fake.
But they're
I would bet
hideous.
money right
Like,
now that he doesn't pay more than a couple bucks for those shoes.
I'd have to be dead for you to put me in those shoes. Um, like, uh they look hideous and uncomfortable.
I'm like, "Oh, god damn it." And just like and then it's like every time you see Marco Rubio, he's like this, he's like and then he's like trying to tell
Oh,
jokes because he's so freaking high, and it's just like,
yeah.
"Are you fucking
Wow.
kidding me? You guys don't
Yeah.
recognize a high guy?" Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, yeah, wow. Oh, I'd like that I have to, like, ignore all of that stuff because, like, the moment I start thinking about it, it just, like, blows my
Yeah,
mind that
yeah.
people don't immediately witness all the same stuff that I've seen. Yeah, 100%. Like, he is blown out of his mind most of the time. I don't understand how that's happening. Too much work with Colombia, apparently.
Oh,
Um,
his shoes
I
don't
don't know,
fit.
maybe he's going down to Venezuela and cutting across the border. Um, he's floating in those shoes. But yeah, like all of the incompetence is so off the charts. It's pure insanity.
Yeah,
And that's
the
why I'm worried about the moon voyage here next week.
oh god, what? The moon? I wasn't even thinking about the moon. What's going on with the moon?
Oh, you
Leave
know what? Oh,
the poor
no,
moon alone, yeah. Go ahead.
NASA's launched Artemis 2 is what next? I think it's launching on April Fool's Day. But no, yeah,
Okay. Perfect
that's
day
the
for
start.
launch.
Yeah. So and then it's supposed to take a trip around the moon, right? And then
Okay.
the next one's supposed to land on it. And we
Huh.
haven't been to the moon in since before I was born.
Is this like a
Um,
NASA thing or is this like
yeah,
SpaceX? Is
it's
this a
an
private company thing?
no, it's a NASA thing. But
Okay.
they pushed it up.
Oh,
Like,
they're gonna rush it, huh? That always works
yeah,
out good with space
and
exploration.
the rockets having a ton of problems. Like, I'm worried about it.
God.
I don't think it's a great idea. Um, but we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully, it'll be great if they pull it off and get to the moon and go around it, come back. That'll be cool.
Maybe Madison
Um,
Cawthorn can be the pilot.
but
He can
yeah,
do it,
oh
because
my
he's not
god.
doing anything right now, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. Seriously. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about is they're strapping real astronauts in there. If they were just putting like monkeys or something, or that guy,
I wouldn't even want
put
him
a
to do that.
couple of
Poor dog,
put a
you
cou-
know, like leave the
put a
poor
couple of
dog.
Republicans in there, launch them to the moon.
Send them up to the moon. Send RFK to the moon. See how long he can hold his
Oh,
breath. You know, he lives to
yeah,
prove.
yeah. Oh my God,
Oh
that guy.
man. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, see, like, and then that's another one. Like, it's just like, oh, that guy. And then there's like all the stupid things that he said and done, and just all the terrible stupidness. And it's just like one after the other.
But
Just a
then
list of all the worst people you could possibly find for every single job.
here's the thing though that bothers me because it's like I've been interviewing these progressive candidates and they're also great. They're willing to talk to me. They're real people. They actually answer questions. Francesca Hong
Yeah.
is running for governor here in Wisconsin. She's wonderful.
Oh, that's cool.
And but then I like jump on social media and the attack ads are like Republicans are like, huh, look at these unserious candidates the Democrats are running. And it's like
Yeah.
and it's almost like because that's going to have an impact with people. Like they're used to having like some patriarchal child rapist authority figure, and they're just like, well, that's what
Yeah.
it has to be, and they can just
Yeah.
default to, oh, this person is frivolous. It's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all the stuff that they're
Oh,
throwing at us. Yeah.
oh, I mean, they'll pivot to the transgender thing, like, instantly,
Oh,
and just, like and use that as if that has anything to do with anything,
yeah.
like,
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's
yeah.
get up out of people's pants, you know what I mean? Like, everything they do is they're worried about what's in your pants, and that seems to be a problem. Like, maybe they should stop doing
Well, the
that.
number, yeah, like the number of like open child rapists among the Republican Party, it's like they're not even hiding it. They have not arrested one person from the Epstein files, you know?
No, but they get all those preachers and stuff, all
Well,
those
they've
child
arrested
youth
a bunch of
pastors.
kids who have been
Yeah.
taken and they've been raped at these concentration
Yeah.
camps.
Like, that is something that has not got enough attention. If that I've only seen that in memes. I would like to see some actual
Jen
information
Budd.
about that.
Talk to Jen
You
Budd.
know
I interviewed her. She worked on Border
okay.
Patrol and she's witness to a lot of this stuff that they
Oh,
did.
that's
And
ridiculous. Yeah. That's
yeah.
completely ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that's who they hire, and I mean, that's why they cover their
Yeah.
faces, they're all
Yeah,
these.
I mean, you saw those kids at the airports or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like, my kid looks older than those kids, and, like, he's not. But, he is
yeah,
definitely bigger than them. Um,
yeah.
that is a it is a, has that is th those are if those I would laugh at them if they tried to say I really would. I would get they'd probably shoot me because I would laugh. "Your children go away."
Oh, like
Um,
the ICE agents? Yeah.
yeah, the ICE agents. Yeah. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah,
They like, half of them didn't look like they could grow a beard.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
go to
finding I'm
college.
finally old enough where I'm getting some respect from authority figures, like, some
Yeah.
police officers pulled me over, looked like they were about 9 the other day, and I I
Oh,
just
yeah.
looked at 'em, it was the first time I just finally got old enough, I guess, and maybe it's like
Yeah.
I probably aged 10 years in this last 3 months, so I just
No.
looked at the
Yeah,
guy
no
and
kidding.
he kinda backed down, so that was good. Yeah.
I get a lot of sirs at, like, gas stations and stuff like that, and I'm just like, "Ah, my beard may be white, but I'm not that old. I'm not that
Oh,
much older than you." Yeah,
but,
but yeah, no, this somehow, like, the presidency ages every president, but
except this
this
one.
one ages
Yeah.
us. Like,
Yeah, fuck.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Natasha I said her name wrong. Natasha says, this was going on during 1.02, and she was talking about the border patrol abuses, and that's true. It's been going
that's
on
very true.
since
Yeah.
they were basically started. So this has been a country that has enabled, like, law enforcement officers to rape kids for
Yeah,
decades now.
it's almost like if you put barriers to a system where you can put people in jail, that those people can be abused, and if you just let them freaking come to the country, they wouldn't get abused when they got here. You know what I mean? Like, they crank about the open borders thing. It's not an open borders thing. You do it's called paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, you just keep track of people,
Well, we need a
and
DNA
then you
database.
don't have to pay to lock them up and let them get brutalized, there's no reason to sure, what's the point of throwing any immigrant out of the country unless they're hurting people? You
Yeah.
know, like there is no other point other than that. They're not like it's not taking jobs, they're not buying houses. That's all crap they make up.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for regular people to buy a house.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
good luck, you
And
know? And it's just it's insanity, and people use it to otherize people, and then it's just
yes.
the same thing as then you can say whatever you want about them because they're not real people to you.
Yep.
Um,
And there are
and then that
just left a
yeah,
comment about that, how it's white supremacy is the easy answer that runs so much of what's going on. I
yep,
feel like I can, but I wanted to mention real quick too. One of Jen Budd's ideas is just like for law enforcement, for political office, should have a DNA database, and you run that
yeah,
against rape kits. And so if
yeah.
somebody is in law
Ooh,
enforcement who's carrying a gun,
oh,
yeah, how hard is that to
that
implement, right?
that well, yeah, and that there's a lot of untested rape kits, and I wonder why.
Yeah, like
Like
no
you make
shit. Yep.
you make a really good point there. Man, yeah, that's a I think that's a great idea. Like,
Yeah.
I think that should be done anyway. I mean, I tell you, I know that, like, you get fingerprinted and stuff like that, but they don't keep your DNA. I don't know. So I feel like it's hard to tell people, yeah, they have to give you your DNA, right? That feels like it's an invasion of
Well,
privacy.
yeah, but they're applying for
However
a job. It's a condition for a job. You give your fingerprint.
yeah,
That's invasion of
yeah.
privacy too.
That it is, you're right, and so it's a thing where you'd have to be able to it's something they couldn't, like, make you do. You have to be able to, get the
Yeah.
job. To
Go
get
get
the
a
job,
different
you can
job
be
if you
made
don't
do
wanna
it.
be
You
a
get what
law
I'm saying?
enforcement. Yeah.
Like like
Mhm.
like, it's not something you can force on everybody. However, the it doesn't really matter because the way that it works is such a neat thing that I saw on a there's a YouTube channel called Veritasium. They're very good, lots of science stuff. I used it for a lot of my classes. Um, but there's a one about statistics and DNA. And the way it works out is like they basically got your DNA anyway. They can find half your family, and if they
Yeah.
can find half your family, they can narrow it down to you because we're not that different. Nobody's that much different that you can't pick them apart. And
Yeah.
so like if once you have like I think it was like 12% of the population or something like that. I don't remember what it was from the video. Once you had that, you had pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
And all those
Yeah.
DNA databases. It's just a matter. That's why all the genealogy stuff works when they're looking for those killers. They don't have those people's DNA initially.
They get the
They
brothers and
get
stuff.
it from
Yeah.
yeah, but they've got brothers and families and everybody else's that they can work their way out right down to the person who did it and or one or two other people who might be related to them. And
What
then they
else?
just pick up their trash, you know?
Well, one other thing you said though too, yes, and one other thing you said is we don't have privacy anymore. People
Oh god, yeah.
Well, people lost the thread. Roe v. Wade was decided on privacy. That is where our unenumerated right to privacy was established,
Yeah.
and they just conveniently overlooked that when they made this campaign to overturn it. But having overturned
Yeah.
Roe v. Wade, we don't have a protection against the government collecting our DNA anymore. They can do anything they
Yeah.
fucking want to us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they start with women for some reason.
Well, they're most afraid of women. That's been very clear too. Authoritarian movements
Yeah.
always fear women more than anything.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's why.
Because women have integrity, like, women have that maternal instinct where they're not gonna allow fucking pedophiles to just maintain
It's
positions of
true.
authority, you know?
Unless they're Pam Bondi, apparently.
Well, you got that statistical anomaly. It's
Yeah.
like, it is
Yeah,
a
there's
feature
always a
among
few.
men, it is, it's an anomaly among women.
Yeah. 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 Well, I would say, you know, give the guys more credit. We're
But
not
the
all
way
that bad.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
yeah, there's definitely a
The way
yeah,
American men are conditioned,
true,
it's not
especially
inherent
these days.
to the gender, but it is. We were talking about that before. Neurodivergent corrected me, but I think
Yeah.
the toxic masculinity culture of the United States has done the worst possible thing to American men, and they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I don't know exactly how old you are, but you're about my age probably. It
51.
wasn't like this when we were okay, so you're a couple years older than me. It wasn't like this when we were kids. Like, it wasn't you didn't treat like, I remember going on a date with a girl when I was, like, I don't know, 15 or 16 or something, and I didn't buy her something, and my dad asked me about it afterwards, and he
Oh,
got mad at me, and he was like, "You always do this, you always" and he told me all this stuff, and I that's but that was back then.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask a kid that, like, I try to tell kids these things these days, but if you ask a kid that
Yeah,
that now,
totally.
like, these guys on the internet are
Oh god,
act
yeah.
like women owe them stuff, and, like,
You know what though, what you're yeah.
I busted on one guy. I saw one guy post about how, um, older women were so I don't remember what he said. There was it was so just, like, lost in his own stupidity, and I was like, "Dude, if this is
Oh,
you are the
yeah,
problem, like, you're the
yeah.
reason why women don't like you. It's not the women,
I
it's
wanted to
you."
mention yeah, well, like,
Yeah,
okay, first of all, like, 1974 was when women first got the right to have a credit line in their name, so
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that long ago, and so
No.
but you're right, there was this chivalry, but you know, it's at the same time, it's like when they made no fault divorce, like, women's suicide, like, just plummeted, you know,
Yeah,
because and it's it used to be like they're
yeah,
harking back to these other times, but it's like
yeah.
women used to be servants who killed themselves, and
Well,
I
I mean,
think
they didn't have the right to vote till, like, 1910 or something like that, right?
yeah.
It's like
Well,
not even it's been a little over 100 years.
Courtney and I always appreciate when women do this. She's like, "I take your point, but it you know, morals, it's not built in." But our corrupt patriarchal system, I'll put it that way. Our corrupt patriarchal system in the United States has gotten out of control. It's done young men no favors, and we have just a toxic masculinity guiding things right now. And I
It's
think
like a yeah, it's like a TV mentality.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
everything you're watching is a TV show, and you can treat people like it's a TV show, and they'll just keep coming back for the next episode. And like and people don't realize that when you when you're an asshole to someone, they don't always keep coming back to you. They're not going to keep showing back up in your story, right? Like,
yeah,
and so like there's no thought of anyone else. It's all me, right?
yeah,
There's no empathy anymore. Nobody tries to put themselves in anybody else's shoes and understand what their
yeah.
situation might be like. And if you try to tell somebody, "Hey, think about that," they're just like, "No, blah blah blah. You're an idiot." And I'm just like,
I think
though you could easily be that person. Like there
yeah.
your consciousness just happened to be in another body. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I think
Like,
that men have an ability to escape consequences more, and you see it all the time. Some
yeah,
guy gets a woman pregnant, and he runs
yeah,
away from this, and, like,
mhm,
consequences fall harder on women just by that reason,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah,
And, of
100%.
course,
Yeah.
you know, it's like I grew
It's
up,
not
we
right at
had
all.
girls that were pregnant in my school, and it's like the
Yeah,
poor girls get shamed, and the men just can pretend they were never involved. Our whole society protects that, and just, like,
yeah,
that weighs on you, I think. So I think these men live
yeah,
in these position of unaccountability like that, that flex, and you're seeing this entire regime. I can do whatever I want. I
yep,
only exist in the moment, pleasing myself. I'll never be held accountable for anything I do. So there. Whereas
yep,
women just have a better understanding of there are consequences for these actions, just as a general
yeah,
statement. And I think that's fair. I think
yeah,
that's fair. I'll see what my lovely people in the comments have to say
yeah, yeah.
because they hold me
No, yeah,
accountable.
definitely. These it's and it's always like the guys who are essentially worst about it, um, like, that are the ones who are the loudest about it.
Yeah,
L
yeah,
like Trump. Like, literally no one in their right mind I don't like I mean, his marriage is obviously a farce, but, like, no one in their right mind would ever wanna be around a person who is just constantly insulting people all the time. Like, who who would like that? If someone did that to me, I would just never talk to that person again. Like, and that's why I don't understand why anybody works for him. And
yeah,
it could only be money or crimes. Either they're making money off of it or they're being protected from something.
yeah.
Um, because otherwise, it's just got to be degrading and horrible.
Well,
Um,
and then the way people just overlook it, where he'll come forward and be, "Well, that was just" it's like he's
yeah,
constantly disrespectful. It's like and everybody
yeah,
it's like and then the people the right always turn around and like, "Well, the left is so just" it's like you guys literally have never said one nice or courteous thing ever on record, ever, not even once. All you
yeah,
ever do is accuse, and somehow we let them get away with it again and again and again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's just like it's oh, and so look, I can tell you too, I kinda turn the situation around for a second,
Yeah.
because when Chuck Norris died the other day, right,
Yeah.
I did not know Chuck Norris's politics, okay? I knew Chuck Norris as the guy we made jokes about in high school,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so, like, I made Chuck Norris jokes, and people got angry with me about saying anything nice about Chuck Norris, and I was like, "The man kinda just died, right? I haven't been talking about him at all this I was just saying
Yeah.
something after his death. I'm not gonna be a dick to him after he dies. That doesn't feel appropriate." And then literally the next day,
Yeah.
Mueller died and Trump was a dick to him. And I was
Yes.
like, that's what you
Yep.
can't like, you pick a lane. If you're gonna be a
Yep.
dick to everybody, be a dick to everybody. That's what
Yep.
Trump does.
Well, like,
But
people lost their
I don't
job.
do that, yeah, exactly.
Well, like,
People lost their job about the Charlie Kirk shit.
yeah,
That
for
what's the freedom
posting
of
things
speech? Yeah,
for
what's freedom
posting
of
things
speech
that he
mean at
said.
that
It's like,
point?
here's something
Yeah,
Charlie Kirk said, you get fired, but then the
yeah,
president can, like, celebrate the death of somebody who was, like, a patriot
yeah,
and who, like, served the country, and there's no
yeah,
and then it's like a collective amnesia, we let them get away with that?
yeah, 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 and it's still somehow, acceptable, which it's not. Like, there's no reason to talk about any anybody like that when they die. It doesn't matter who they are. Um, it's and to do you have to be a certain level of person to do that, period, and then to share it with the world, that you gotta be a bit lower on that one,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's lots of people who said things about Charlie Kirk at home who did not post those things on the internet,
Yeah.
because that's not something you say about somebody when they are brutally murdered,
Yeah.
um,
At
and
school
so
shooting, I always say, because it's another school shooting.
yeah, 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 and so
Then they get mad.
there's no reason for that, and so when you start picking and choosing, that's where you start having problems. If you can't stick to one thing.
Yep.
My thing is if somebody dies, I'm not gonna say anything mean about them. You know?
Yeah.
I generally
Yeah.
don't try to say mean things about people unless they've already said something mean about somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
Except, I mean,
but
child rapists, I will celebrate the death of a child rapist. Fuck those guys.
yeah, 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 now that's a different thing. There are things where you can get that, but I'm not gonna share it with the world though. Like,
Yeah, I am.
and I don't feel my place to necessarily, spread that around.
Yeah.
Um,
I hear
and
what you're saying.
it's more
You yeah.
yeah, I hear what you're saying too. It's more that's just my personal preference, right? I will enjoy other people who post things, you know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean? Like, I'll still read it, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
You'll laugh at the
Um,
privacy of your own home.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But and so it's kind of like we don't need to go after each other, kinda to go back to what we're talking about. We don't need to go after each other
Yeah.
for disagreeing with one another. We should be disagreeing with one another. That's how you fix things.
Yeah.
That's how you make
Academic
things better and come up with better ideas.
that
Is
academic
saying,
process of peer review.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all the scientific method, right? Like you test something. If it doesn't work, you fix it, right?
Yep.
But if you can't, like, if we can't ever disagree about anything,
Yeah.
then all we're gonna do is separate ourselves entirely, right? We're
Yeah.
just gonna wind up all being different.
Oh, yep.
And so we, it's it's uh it's the kind of thing where we do kind of need experts to
Yeah.
pick up the ball and but none of them will really do it.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's just you know the current government is a complete hellscape, and I don't understand why it's still allowed to continue.
Yeah.
Um,
And if there's
like
no room
that's the part in
yeah.
any other universe.
Oh,
This has been shut down a long time ago.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I don't get why it's still allowed to be okay. That's the part that hurts my feelings every day. Um,
yeah.
it is tough to look at the phone and know, okay, what kind of crazy shit's what do you say this time?
Yeah. And I
It'd be
guess
better if it was fun. Like, it's not fun. It's all stupid
yeah.
and horrible. It's ah, not even there's not any covfefes or anything. Like
Yeah, it's
can't
not
en
being funny, yeah.
there's nothing to enjoy anymore. It's all just horrible stupidity. There's
There's
not
no
even
food, we're starving
hilarious
to death.
stupidity.
We can't afford
Yeah,
to even
yeah,
die.
and
And
just
it
taking healthcare away from people and
yeah.
pulling everybody's money so you can go blow it up. I swear they stole everybody's money,
They did.
and
For the
we're all just
future.
broke
Our
now.
kids' monies too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Forget about retirement. I wanted to say real quick, yeah, if there's no room for constructive criticism, you're just submitting to authoritarian control. You just are
Exactly.
obeying. And
Yeah.
one other thing, because I wonder if Courtney's still here, because we were talking about morality based on gender. So I just have kind of thought to myself, and I've kind of been workshopping this. So Courtney is here, great. So I put, see if you
Yeah.
think this is fair, Courtney. I put consequences of recklessness affect women more. So that's why I think you can make a general statement that women are going to be less inclined to reckless decisions than men are, just as like a general social thing. See, if that's wrong, tell me it's wrong. But I think there's something, maybe that's what I've been trying to figure out to say.
That's a I don't know,
Oh,
I think that's interesting.
does that
Um,
seem fair to you? Let's workshop it.
well, I would say it may be more the maybe it's more of a connection now. Again, I'm just assuming because again, I'm a man, but, um, like like, women are more connected to, their children
Yeah, they
as,
give a crap at this
as
stage. Yeah.
yeah, and, it's it's like you were saying before, it's easy for men to walk away from babies and things like that,
Yeah.
and that's our society. That's not, it's not a human thing. Right? That's a choice that we as Americans make
Yeah.
is we can easily walk away from those children, whereas women can't. They will be, if they usually if they see the child, they're gonna keep it anyway, or you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna walk away from it, not as easily. And so, man, I think that connection, but that's also just a guess. I'm just
I think,
throwing ideas out there because you made me think of stuff.
well, yeah,
Um,
Courtney says, I mean, we workshop these thoughts. What am I trying to say? And I want to say it in a way that people can agree. But like, I think there's just this inherent, because women can create life and men can't.
yeah,
So I think we're
nope,
just like in the human race, men feel second. I think they feel intimidated by women because, women can do this thing. And it's like, and it's always easy.
yeah,
Like when you feel insecure, and the president is the greatest example of
yeah,
insecurity ever. And it's
God,
like,
yeah,
if you can actually create something, it takes time, it takes care, it takes nurturing, it takes skill. And if you can't
hmm.
create something, the only way to look powerful is to destroy, right? So a
Yes,
person can
yeah,
sit there
exactly.
creating, the president comes along, "Oh, I'm the big man, crush. I blew up a country, crush.
Yeah,
I bombed a school for kids, crush. I'm the big guy." And it's just overlooked the fact that you're just trying to make up for your impotence and inability to ever build anything. So maybe,
yeah, okay. Okay, so you made me think of something. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so do you remember when Tyrion was on trial? They had him in jail, and he was telling Jaime the story about the guy who was like the kid, who was like his cousin or whatever, who was squashing the beetles.
Hmm.
Do you remember the squashing
Keep
the
going. I
beetles
don't know if I
story?
remember that. Keep going though.
Okay, so they're in jail, and he's talking
Oh,
about
I
his
think I remember. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and his cousin was just squashing the beetles, and he never understood. And he finishes the story by telling his brother, I never understood why he was squashing those beetles, right? And I watched some YouTube video because I've just been, I just I do that instead of watching what's happening in the government. Um, and so, and the guy was explaining it in such a way that he was talking about how like the little people are essentially um, like, the peasants, if you will, would be they're just getting squashed. They're just the beetles getting squashed, and the big guy doesn't even know why he's doing it. He's just doing it because he wants to, like because it gives him power. It gives him a reason to do it. Um, and that's all Trump does. Is it gives him security to hurt other people and to ruin shit.
Yeah, he's trying to deflect
And
from his own impotence and incompetence
yeah,
and uselessness.
yeah. If he can make everybody else look bad, then he looks better. I mean, that's the 9/11 thing he said,
Yeah. That's the essence
right?
of all
Like
bullies.
it's Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's why I don't understand why everybody capitulates to him like he's some, orange god. Like it's I could talk a circle around the man
Yeah,
if you put me
yeah.
in a room with him.
Oh, wouldn't it be
He
fun?
could say all sorts of mean stuff to me, but he won't like the stuff I say back to him. But if he'll sit here and listen to me, let's go. We'll have a
Yeah.
conversation.
Well,
You know
that
what I mean?
also like,
He won't like what I have to say, and he won't listen to me. He'll storm out like a little bitch.
I have a
Um,
story about that too, like, cause I had a and my grandpa, and he was just kinda in the habit of, like, always roughhousing. And he was the sweetest guy ever too. This was just what he did, and it's just,
yeah,
and, like, one time, I got to be, like, 18, and he was like, "Hey," like, being tough guy. And finally, I just like I had enough of it. And I like knocked him down, and then I'm like, but it was just sort of like, like off me. And it's just like, then I feel like an asshole. But it's like this
Yeah,
whole bully mentality. You can drop these guys on their ass anytime they want. And it's only because
yeah,
people never stand up to them that,
exactly.
and it just becomes so frustrating to stand and watch from a distance.
Yeah, yeah, it's just it's really I mean, it's really sad how, like, Mike Johnson and all these other guys will
Oh
go on
god.
TV and just, like, just talk about all
There's
the
my Mike
this how
Johnson.
great it yeah, yeah, and they'll talk about all this stuff about how great he is and everything, and none of it's true, and, like, not based in fact or reality in any kind of way. Like, why are you why? Why not just say the truth? Because he's got something on you, like, it's so obvious now, like, it wasn't as
Yeah.
obvious the first time, like, I could see it, but not everybody else could,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it is, like, right on the face of everybody at this point that it doesn't matter what anybody wants to do, he's the greatest ever, and we just gotta deal with it, apparently, until somebody else decides that they can use their power to do something, um, like, uh, he pretty sure he had some strokes last
Yeah.
year. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they talked about that and then just kinda blew it under the rug like they always do. Woodrow Wilson had strokes during World War One, right? And there was that was, like, the whole reason it was one of the reasons the 25th Amendment came about, the other one was JFK, I think. Um, but, like, he was
Oh,
not
yeah.
in he was incapacitated at the end, and that is kinda what we're seeing now, except he can still walk around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it is, like, there's no brain left in there,
Yeah.
um and I would love to see him sit down for a day and just have a conversation with people because he can't do that. It's just all the same.
Yeah. Well, he is the
I call it
useful idiot.
reruns. It's just the same rerun. Yeah, yeah,
That's
now
the
they're just
thing.
using him. Now it's just Weekend at Donnie's at this point.
Yeah, and he's just auto pen. Also, he's
Yeah,
like the supreme pawn because everybody knows he doesn't have that long to go, and they can just make, "Oh, it was all his orders, and it was all the things that he
yep,
signed, we just had to do," and they're trying to create this
yep,
whole illusion of deflecting accountability, but I mean, there has to be accountability for all these horrors that are going on right now and all these
100%.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and first we gotta stop all this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's the thing I'd like to do. Stop all the. Let's get all the freaking concentration camp crap.
Yeah,
Shut all
kids,
that shit
we gotta
down.
stop high cat we gotta
Yeah,
stop kids from getting raped. I mean, it's like, for the love of
yeah.
God, America,
Stop messing with kids, period.
stop murdering
Kids
them. Yeah.
kids didn't do anything illegal to get here.
You know,
And,
and it's the
you
th
know,
you know
like
what the
like
sickest part of it is? America just doesn't care as long as they're not white kids. America just doesn't fucking care. It pisses me off, you know? But I
yeah,
mean,
me
they're
too.
blowing up, Iran, they blow up Venezuela, they attack these
Yep,
immigrants, and it's like they're just until they nobody does anything until it's, "Oh, now it's Renee Nicole Good," and it's like, now you cross the line." It's like,
yeah,
you've been raping kids for decades, and
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, he
it's
blew up Iran last year and got away
yeah.
with it, and he thought he could do it twice,
Yeah.
and now we're all paying for it. And apparently he ain't stopping anytime soon, even though he keeps saying he's gonna, which doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
there's no Iran is a bad idea, period. It
Yeah.
was always a bad idea.
Well,
Like,
it
if you
was
know anything about, like, history and militaries and military history and, like, Iran's a bad idea.
yeah.
There's a reason why nobody's ever done that before.
Well, I
And
always
it's not
say
because they didn't wanna try. It was
it
because they will Iraq wanted to try, I think, at some point. It didn't work out.
yeah. Well, they knocked down the
I don't
tariffs.
remember.
The Supreme Court knocked down the tariffs, and the little man, had to do something to make him feel big again. Nothing makes
Yeah.
him feel bigger than murdering children.
Yeah,
That's
apparently.
what he does in his life,
The
you know?
fuck? Yeah, that makes me ill. Like,
That's what's going on. It's not
that's the
complicated.
lowest
It's
of the low thing,
actual
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the low like, it's like, our stuff shouldn't be anywhere near that, like
All the power of the United States, all the money,
oh,
everything this
and
country has done.
yeah, they said we did it it was outdated targeting data, right? That was their out
Lies.
it
Everything is
it
lie, yeah. That they hit
well, no,
twice? Yeah.
it was outdated it was outdated because you didn't fucking update it
They
before you
fired the
shot
guy
at
who
these
knew how to
people.
do that. Yeah, they
Yeah,
fired
yeah,
probably the black woman who had that job, who was competent
yeah,
at it, and they put some
yeah,
white
because it was
supremacist
DEI.
asshole in there. Yeah,
Yeah, some 22-year-old who didn't know what he was
yep,
doing.
and this is why we have
Yeah,
boats crash into each other in the Navy, and we got planes crash into each other, and we've got passenger planes because, they
crashing into
this
fire trucks. Like, how did
yeah.
that even happen?
Because this
Like,
government fired every competent black man and woman who was in a position of power, and they elevated some hillbilly, murder squad guy who was
yeah,
probably
and
on a yeah, rap sheet
they
about it.
think AI can run it all. They're thinking the one idiot can run everything using a computer. That's not going to work.
God. Oh, man,
AI,
I tell you.
AI is not the future. It is just a really fancy calculator.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm telling you. Well, you said you had family coming. I'm keeping you over time,
Yeah.
but it's been delightful
Oh no,
talking to
you're
you. I don't
good.
know you.
You're good. I'm having a good time. I was just sitting here. There, my family got home a little bit ago. I'm about
Oh,
to go
okay.
finish cleaning up and doing that kind of stuff.
Well,
All the usual weekend evening things, I guess.
yeah, I've been doing things like cleaning to avoid watching the news.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. I'll go put something on. I wind up watching video games or TV shows
watch
recaps that I've already seen of
there's
all
a
the shows
show
that.
there's a show you might like on YouTube, it's free to watch, it's called Taskmaster. It's this British
Okay,
show. What it's really funny. They get these comedians and they set up these just absurd tasks, and then they just watch how
okay.
people fail, and it's hilarious. You
Interesting. I'll
can
check
find it
that
for
out.
free on YouTube.
I when I got I used to I was watching old Monty Python
Oh,
episodes
there you
the other
go.
day because somebody said something about the Spanish Inquisition and I was like, oh yeah, Monty Python.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. We watched the other day with
Exactly.
the kids, we watched V for Vendetta again, and that was actually
Oh
kinda
nice.
cathartic too, because it just lines up
Yeah.
so perfectly with
Yeah,
everything we're
that
going through.
that story's so good. Yeah.
Natasha just mentioned the Holy Grail. It's one of those things,
Yeah.
my two daughters, one of them has a humor like mine, and the other one has a humor like, her mom, and we put in the Holy Grail, and my eldest was just laughing, like, the first part where they're talking about the llama and the moose bites and all that,
Yeah.
like, in
Yeah.
the opening credits, and she was just
Yeah.
dying with laughter. The other one was just like, "This is just stupid." I just thought that was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. The it's so absurd. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
That's the stuff I put on when I need to laugh at something and I want to ignore everything else.
oh, wonderful. Well, let me give people can find you. Give yourself a little bit of a plug here before we turn
Um,
off and people can find you, what
yeah,
you're doing.
it's I believe it's I think it's at Craig Christ PhD. I don't know what my screen name is or
Oh, I
anything
could
like
look for
that.
it.
I don't
I
know
could
any
look
of
for
that
it.
stuff. But you guys, yeah, I've been working on writing some stuff about stats lately, um, and like kind of trying to um, like teach a class that I used to teach in a simpler way. And I've got stuff about internet things, and there's lots of stuff to read.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of what else is there. Some physics theories in there.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Somebody said biggest
lots of interesting,
biggest diggest.
lots of
Somebody
stuff.
just put in. We got go back to Monty Python. Biggest diggest. I have a good friend named Biggest Diggest. Yeah, okay, but yeah. But I think actually people are really excited about statistics right now. I mean, I've never seen
Yeah,
anybody be more interested in statistics with data analysis. I mean, we're tired of having people who are clearly incompetent tell us what to do. So yeah, and
yeah.
your stack is just Craig Christ PhD. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And I'll link to it in the replay here if people want to find
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
People
Yeah,
can
and
send you more questions.
I'm gonna ask you how to link people because I always mess it up.
Oh,
But I'll
okay.
text you
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'll get it figured out. It's okay.
I'm
Yeah, thanks for math.
I'm still not 100% on the technology all the time, especially with the cell phone.
Oh
Uh,
God. Yeah. I don't even get a
I
new
do
cell
better on
phone.
a computer than I do on a cell phone.
Ugh. Well, those cell phones are just spying on you, so you
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
get
Oh
get
yeah.
your Faraday bag.
Mhm. So, well, I just set it down and put music on, and that's all it does.
Even that, it's
It's
just
my
recording you.
iPod.
Sitting
Yeah, oh
there
yeah,
looking at
well,
you like this.
yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, no, like the ad thing, like
Oh,
it's the Futurama dream cartoons, right? Like you're the episode of Futurama where they're advertising in their dreams, right?
oh,
That's all it is whenever you pull up Facebook or something. It's just whatever you talk about pops up on there. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all
You've
I can
had
think
that.
about it
Oh,
is that
Dalai
creature
Mama,
ramen.
good to see Dalai Mama. You've had that where you're having a conversation with somebody like, "Gee, I have to, fix my toilet," and then you get, like, ads for, like, toilet repair
Yep,
kits. Yeah.
yep,
Scrolling by.
yep, 100%. They're totally listening to you, know exactly what you're saying, know what you're watching.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Woohoo! We're gonna win.
yay, yeah.
Alright, well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but if
let you
we
go.
if
I'm
we
gonna let you go
bash
play with
all
your
these little yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna play with the kids. I was saying if we bash all these devices, then they can't follow us anymore. Um,
Yeah.
so it's all it takes is one good hammer.
What is your
Um,
quest? Somebody puts in
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah,
What's the average airspeed of a swallow? Yeah, okay. Well,
African or European.
I don't know. All right. All right. We'll leave it at that. That
Alright.
was a good way
Yeah,
to
this is
end. It's
fun.
been a delight talking to you. I'm glad we finally got a
You
chance to
too.
connect. And yeah,
Agreed.
I'll be in touch and you be in touch with me, whatever you need.
Sounds good. We'll talk again soon.
Yep. See you. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Bye
Alright.
bye.
Yeah,
Have a
thanks you
good
guys.
weekend.
Y'all have a good one.